Now let's talk about the powerhouse, the Fold 8 Ultra. It's beautiful, it's premium, exactly what you'd expect from the flagship Fold. It's running the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy, the same chip as the S26 line, and it's slightly thinner and lighter than last year's model. The ultra-wide camera got bumped to a new 50 megapixel sensor that can shoot 8K video, sitting alongside the same 200 megapixel primary and unchanged telephoto from last year. Check out some of the photos I took and some of the videos I shot as well. Honestly, these turned out to be better than I expected. First, 4K video from the front camera in HDR. Looks pretty good to me, although this is from the same 10 megapixel camera that you have on the Galaxy Fold 8. This one's from the rear wide-angle lens, 12 megapixels, f1.7, and ISO 25. Look at the sharpness on this. The detail is crisp, the edges are clean, and there's basically no noise anywhere in the frame. The low ISO and wide aperture are doing real good work, letting in more light so the sensor doesn't have to work so hard. Now for the next picture, this one's from the front camera, 6 megapixels, f2.2, ISO 125. Notice how much softer this looks in comparison. The fine detail, hair, fabric texture is smoothed over, and if you look at the darker areas in the frame, there's noticeably more noise creeping in. That's a direct result of the ISO being 5 times higher than the real shot. So side by side, the rear camera wins clearly on every technical measure: sharpness, noise control, detail retention. Don't get me wrong, the front camera still is not bad. It's actually pretty nice, but it's a smaller sensor being pushed harder in the same lighting, and that shows up the moment you actually zoom in. All smartphone manufacturers have smaller specs for the front cameras, so that is expected. If you want the best results, always take pictures with the rear cameras. The hinge is the real story though, and this is where the competitive gap really shows. As I was watching the Unpacked event, they talked about it. A few months back, Oppo's Find N6 basically eliminated the visible crease entirely and made Samsung look like they were behind. This year, Samsung fought back with a new titanium alloy film, as explained in the Unpacked event, behind the OLED plus a titanium backplate. And combined with a new anti-reflective coating and 3000 nits max brightness, the crease is dramatically reduced compared to last year. Charging finally got an upgrade from 25 to 45 watts, and of course 15 to 20 watts wireless, but I gotta be honest, I was a bit disappointed because the competitors like Honor and Huawei and Oppo, they're ahead of the game, and their charging speeds are even faster. Even with all of that, I do think Samsung's competitors have caught up, and in some areas they've genuinely passed them. It's hard to look at this phone and feel like Samsung is still clearly ahead the way they used to be. However, that does not mean that they're better, because Samsung has the golden goose, which is software. Samsung software is still way better than Oppo and Honor and Huawei and the rest of them. Battery was a letdown for me on paper, and that is on paper. 5,000 milliampere hour, the biggest Samsung's ever put in a Fold, but honestly, I was hoping for more, given, for example, that the other competitors have 6,000 or 7,000 milliampere hour batteries. Samsung is positioning this pretty well though. Now remember, on paper, they engineered this 5,000 milliampere hour cell into a slim, light body without compromising the size of the phone. And they're claiming up to 27 hours of video playback before you need to top up. Plus, the new 45-watt charging is actually pretty good and can get you back up quickly. And finally, Samsung made the move to silicon carbon here too, so the chemistry is catching up, even if the raw capacity number is not. So overall, this is a beautiful, beautiful premium phone. And although this year's ultra-wide sensor comes at 50 megapixel compared to last year's 12 megapixel, Samsung says wider apertures on the ultra-wide sensor provide 34% improved brightness compared with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Now, do I recommend upgrading from the Galaxy Fold 7? Probably not, because this is an incremental upgrade. But do I recommend upgrading from the Galaxy Fold 6? Absolutely yes. And this sums up everything for today's video. Thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful day.